Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Let's start off with that I am using a lot of natural light. I usually don't film this, well, it's late in the afternoon, it's 5:25, but I don't usually film around this time, but I needed to film, so this is what's happening. Today we're going to be doing a ranking my palettes I've bought so far, and I think we're at 13 palettes that I've bought since January to now. So we're going to be ranking those, and if you're interested in something like that, stay tuned. We'll get right into it. Okay guys, like I said in my intro, we're going to be doing a rankings video of all the palettes that I have tried so far. So far I've tried 13 palettes since January to now. So some of them I've used more than others, and I'll explain why as we're getting into it. We're obviously going to be doing from lowest to highest, and the first two I'm going to be talking about are like kind of interchangeable. They're not bad, they're just not that good that I want to reach for them consistently. Again, there's nothing quality wrong with any of these palettes. They're really good in their own aspects. But I just have, it's just more personal preference like anything else. So let's get started with the first few and the bottom tier ones, and then we'll go through why they're in their specific rankings individually, I guess. Not individually, but like prospectively, I guess. Anyways, so let's get started. Okay, so like I said, the bottom two are kind of interchangeable. There's really nothing wrong with them. They're just meh. Just kind of not my favorite. Hold on. The dogs are barking. Okay, so the bottom two, and again, these are interchangeable. I couldn't really decide which one was better than the other. There's literally nothing wrong with them. I just don't reach for them. They don't pull me to reach for them. And they're going to be the Colorpop, the Airbender, and the MorpheXNyane palettes. So like I said, there's nothing wrong with them, and they're kind of like, I can't put them one above the other. I like both of them just the same. The shimmers kind of swatched the same to me a little bit. So this one, oh, there's a lot of natural light there. This one is the Colorpop one. And then I'll swatch. Let's swatch this one. We're swatching this. Oh, hold on. This shade. Ooh, this shade in the Morphe one. And let's do that one right here, and I'll get out of the light so you can see. Like, ugh, sorry, there's a lot of natural light coming in, so I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. They kind of swatch the same. I will say right now that the Earth Kingdom shade right here in this Colorpop palette is probably my favorite. Really haven't gotten too much use out of either or. Even though I am a color lover, I just really hasn't been pulled into like really reaching for it. This is my favorite section in this specific palette. Ugh, I'm so sorry. This palette, this part of the palette, I love the color story in there. It really draws me in. Even though I love pinks or I love greens, it just didn't really pull me in. But the cover art is she looks gorgeous. I absolutely love this. She is absolutely stunning. And I love watching the Avatar as a kid, so which is what drew me in to purchase this palette. I don't know. It just didn't keep my attention more than just the packaging. So like I said, these are interchangeable as far as spot 13 and 12. There's nothing wrong with them. They just really didn't do it too much for me. Okay, so palette number 11. Yes, 11. So I picked up the Tresluse Beauty by, I think this is by Becky G. Is it by Becky G? I'm pretty sure this is Becky G's makeup brand. Aesthetically speaking, the well, let me explain. So I picked up the, I have no idea. I speak Spanish, but I can't read Spanish worth a damn. I picked up a little kit from Tresluse, and it came with the eyeshadow palette, and then it came with a set of lashes, which I haven't used. I literally haven't used them. So that's what intrigued me to pick up the purchase. In store at Ulta, I swatched this shade, and it's creamy. Hold on. It's creamy, even though that's not a really good swatch. And then the shimmer is what got me. It's a very, very beautiful shimmer. My camera's not going to do it justice. It has like it's very silvery, pink silvery reflect to it. It's a cute on the go palette. Definitely something you could use just every day, like for the person, a minimalist, or if you're going on a trip and you can't bring a whole bunch of stuff. This would be definitely something I would bring. But I'm not a minimalist, and I do take a lot of makeup with me. So like for me as a person, yeah, it's a great idea, but like I like it as an idea, but I personally, like, I've been known to bring multiple palettes. Like, I don't care how it's getting to where I'm going, but it's coming with me. The formula's not bad. I didn't mind it. I've used this a couple times. I definitely like the formula better than the Morphe palette, so which is why it ranked higher. And I think that these two would interchangeable, but because I like this one better than the Morphe palette, I just bumped it up one. That's kind of how I thought about it. I haven't tried the lashes, so that'll be on a different update, but that's where that one stands, or stands, whatever. All right, next palette. This one was kind of hard for me. I didn't want to rank it this low because I really like the formula. I don't know what it is, but it just like, I think I got to give it more shots. But for right now, based on the usage and based on just how I felt about it when I used it, this is why this is kind of just ranking lower. This is nothing wrong with the brand. Like, I really love the brand's like formula, and I do have another palette from this brand, and it's ranked a lot higher. So it's just personal preference at this time. A lot of my preferences change over time. Makeup style changes a lot for me. So we're at 12, 11, 10, I think. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're on palette 10. And then palette ranking in number 10 is going to be the Beauty Bay Midnight palette. Now, I did a look, which is on, I think, my Instagram. I don't know if I put it on my TikTok, but I'll link my accounts down below. And honestly, I think this is a freaking gorgeous palette. Freaking gorgeous. And the look that I got, it was okay, but it was definitely a little bit difficult to blend. I didn't get into the purples, just because I was more drawn to the blues, obviously, because the palette is kind of blue, or kind of blurple. But it was okay, but I definitely feel like I've used better blues, especially like this blue right here, which is Midnight. It's just very dry, but these type of blues usually are. But I feel like I have the other blues in my collection that definitely just swatch better, or like blend better. So that's what I meant. A lot of the shimmers, there's nothing wrong with the shimmers. I feel like I was just very disappointed in how difficult it was to blend out some of these shades, which is really why it landed so much lower, because everything else just blends so much easier. I don't know why I put it so low. Yeah, I think this is the right spot for this palette for right now. I might change it. I'll do another update later on and see, like, at the 6-month mark, if I still felt the same, if it would still land in the same spot. But for right now, I just feel like it was okay. It didn't blow me away, but it definitely blew me further away than the palettes I previously spoke of. Okay, let's get into the top 10. Okay, so we're in palette 9. So this one I definitely know I'm going to get some heat for. And it just is what it is, guys. I'll explain. Coming in at number 9 is going to be the Pat McGrath Bridgerton collection, the first round, and I'll explain why it's at number 9. Now, this is a gorgeous palette. Like, it's beautiful. I'm sorry that the sun is kind of blowing out the colors. For what it is, I'm sorry, I can't justify this price point. I paid, I think, $65 or $68 for this. Hold on, let me take this off. I just never took off the thing. The only thing about this palette the redeeming quality in this palette is this shade right here. Like, this shade right here is like her famous, like, special shade or whatever. It's just not worth the price. Bro, she literally puts all these shades in all her palettes, and it's not worth the price. Like, I'm sorry, it's not worth the price. I have another like 6-pan like this of hers. I do not reach for these, and it's just like, I thought this palette was gonna be freaking phenomenal. I really enjoy the color story, but it's just not special. It is not special, but it goes way above. Like, this shade is the only reason, it's literally the only reason I ranked it higher. I don't think it's worth the price. I don't waste your money. If you do have, like, if you're a makeup fanatic like I am, you have these shades in your collection. Do not waste your money. And frankly, I probably should have ranked it lower. Like, I don't think it's worth it. I'm sorry. Like, I regret purchasing that one. I borderline, the only reason it's above the number 10 spot is because of that sparkly blue shade. Like, specifically just because of that. So, again, this is just my personal preference, like, where I want my money to be going, and it certainly shouldn't have gone to this one. Okay, number 8. It's going to go to the Nomad, God damn it. Whistler Snow Lodge? Yeah. The Nomad palette. I loved this palette when I used it. The color story is absolutely gorgeous. I'm sorry, the sun is blowing out the colors. The colors blended beautifully. I absolutely adore it. Like, it's absolutely great. There's nothing wrong with it. Personal preference, I kind of just preferred other palettes over this one. But the black is gorgeous. This deep green is gorgeous. This gold is gorgeous. Like, the whole palette's gorgeous. I really like the aesthetic. I really like the formula in this one. I can't wait to continue trying the Nomad formula and other palettes. They did come out with another one recently. I unfortunately do not like color pastel, so I passed on that one. But this was definitely up my color story, and I really like this one. And I also do know that I'm pretty sure I have a Instagram reel or a TikTok. I'll link like I said, I'll link my accounts below so you can check it out. 9, 8. I'm sorry, I forget where we're at. All right, we're number 7, and this one's gonna go to the Colorpop Rock Candy collection. Like I said, I knew there was gonna be another Colorpop in here. I freaking love this color story. This is such a gorgeous color story. I like having pressed glitters, or at least having the option of using pressed glitters. I don't always use pressed glitters, but I like having the option just because I don't want to keep more jars of more shit. I've got too much as it is. So I like that Colorpop gives us the options of having pressed glitters in the palettes. I don't think, like, look at that. Like, oh, it's so beautiful. So definitely the Colorpop, like the fact that they have pressed glitters, this color story really calls my name. The formula is really, really good. It just didn't disappoint me. Definitely a lot better. Now I have glitter everywhere. Oy. Like glitter everywhere. And then I have an itch in my nose, so I'm going to have glitter in my nostril. Awesome. Okay. Anyways, that one just like, I liked the color story. I just liked everything that it had to offer. If anything, it's like pressed glitters that got me to rank this one higher over the Avatar palette. Alright, next palette we're at, let's see, hold please. Nine, seven, okay. We're gonna go into the number 6 palette, and that's gonna go to the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Surge palette. I really like this palette. Again, there isn't anything wrong with it. I really enjoyed the formula. It is beautiful to blend. My palette, oops, did come broken, but it's not a big deal. I pressed it in there. They were kind enough to like replace the shade or the palette, but I feel weird about having a replacement because like I can still use this, but like it sucks because like, you know, whatever. But it just kind of sucks when the mail carriers don't take care of our products sometimes. I get it, they have a lot going on, but it's annoying. Like nobody wants to really use, like I don't want to use that shade because like I don't, like it's too much. Like it, too much comes off on the brush. Anyways, tangent. I love the deep rose, the shade. Like what makes this palette so special to me is that row. That row right there, that middle row of these deep, amazing, like super saturated, like amazing colors. I absolutely love that. Just the depth. It's just a freaking gorgeous palette. I love the way it blends. Abso-freaking-lutely phenomenal, phenomenal color story. I will be in my next, top 5. I will be going over like some issues that I had with number 5 and explain why number 5 is number 5. But give me a second. Let me grab those palettes and then, you know, I'll explain. So hold on. I'm going to clean off my glitter too. Okay guys, so now we're getting into the top 5. So like I had said, the number 5 spot and the number 6 spot were like, could be interchangeable, and I'll explain why. Well, let me tell you what number 5 spot is. So let's start there. So the number 5 spot's gonna go to my Lunar Beauty Nude Prism palette. This is absolutely gorgeous. Let me see. This palette is absolutely stunning. The reason this palette falls into the number 5 spot and not any higher is because honestly, I'm not a big fan of neutral colors. Like, they don't excite me. They just don't. I've never tried anything from Lunar Beauty as far as eyeshadow palette goes. I do not own any other eyeshadow palette from Lunar Beauty other than this. I do have some eyeshadow brushes from Lunar Beauty, and the first Lunar Beauty blush palette, that is beautiful. That's still in my collection over there. The reason that this one was ranked higher than my Blend Bunny Surge palette is the row of shimmers. The row of shimmers are absolutely freaking gorgeous. I love how creamy they are. They're absolutely stunning. I love them, love them, love them. Now, where I was saying with the Surge palette, why these would be interchangeable for me is because the mattes in the Surge palette blend so much better, or at least this grunge shade is similar to Bloom For You in here, and the Bloom For You, honestly, I spent like forever trying to blend this shade out. It was driving me freaking bananas. It would not blend, and I was just there blending, adding, trying to blend out, then taking away, then mixing it with this shade, and it was just taking so long to blend. Now when I use my Surge palette, this thing just like boom, 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 done. Like, I was like, the fuck? The only reason the Lunar Beauty palette ranked higher than my Surge palette is because I like the shimmers better in my Lunar Beauty palette than I do the Surge palette. So, I mean, the mattes are definitely superior as far as the deep shades in the Surge palette, but the shimmers is what ranked it higher for me. At least this is like my personal preference. That's why it ranked higher. I did use this palette. I got it recently, but I was using it consistently and I got my thoughts on it, and that's where this one fell for me. Okay. Now we're getting to the top 4. Now, these are all amazing, 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 amazing palettes, and it was super difficult for me to decide because I literally could reorganize them based tomorrow and it would be in a different order. You know what I mean? I'm definitely a mood type of person, and this is just the mood that it felt right for me right now. Now, coming in at number 4 is the P. Louise Stack 'em Up palette. I did this freaking gorgeous look with this palette on my TikTok using these turquoise shades. Oh my god, like they're just everything. They're literally, look at that pigment. Ugh, sorry, there's just a lot of sun right now. Ugh, I wish you could see it. It's so beautiful. It's so gorgeous. Now, obviously this is it's a monochromatic palette. You're only gonna get so many different types of looks out of this, but like either way, like this palette is absolutely gorgeous. Like absolutely gorgeous. Like if I could, like, it's just and this is why I think this is the palette that made me rank the Midnight palette so low, because the quality in this palette is so good. I shit you not. If you are a blue lover, if you love blue, I'm telling you, the P. Louise like formula in their mattes is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. Now, this is, again, it's personal preference. Like, this is why it's like you can't get a whole lot of looks. There's not a lot of versatility, but the formula, the shimmers, like, chef's kiss. It's so good. If you haven't tried it, I'm telling you, you need to try them. Okay, moving on to number 3. Now, number 3, guys, please understand that this, again, it's personal preference. Like I had said, there is nothing wrong. I love these palettes. They're really good, but they're just where they ranked. It's just where they ranked. Number 3 is coming in at the Heather Austin and Adept collaboration palette. I freaking love the packaging in this palette. It's super nostalgic for me. I was watching YouTube when it was really getting big. Like, I didn't start getting into makeup until like 2015, 16. I was a full-grown adult, you know what I'm saying? Like, I did not know anything about makeup, so like I was definitely in the era where the beauty gurus were like big, and like I was just like awing at all of it, just learning it. So this brought back a lot of amazing memories. The reason this ranks so at number 3 is because I don't like the matte formula that much. The matte formula was pretty, like, for me, was kind of difficult to blend. The greens and the yellow were a little difficult to blend. The brown is actually really, right there, is good. I really like that one. The purple, like, it's fine, you know. But where this palette shines is obviously its duochromes and the multichromes. I absolutely adore it. But I need, if it's going to be a top tier palette, like number 1 or number 2, the mattes have to be on the same type of level. You know what I'm saying? Like, but definitely the shimmer, the duochromes, are phenomenal, which is why this palette landed in number 3. And another congratulations to Heather Austin. Amazing collaboration. I know she sold out the palette. I know that they had another restock or another pre-order for her palette. Like, congratulations, girl. Phenomenal. Love that for you. Cannot wait to see what you are going to continue coming out with. Okay, the last 2. And I'm so excited because honestly, these 2 are my favorite palettes. I love everything about these 2 palettes. Just one is, again, specific personal preference. love specific things about each palette individually. So coming in at number 2 is the P. Louise Watch the Queen Conquer palette. Now this palette, she's a big, thick girl with 3 C's. She is thick. Now, so it's a dual-sided palette. There's the one side, and there's the other side. They're absolutely gorgeous and has a little chessboard in the middle. Formula's phenomenal. Just the color stories are phenomenal. The packaging is bulky but phenomenal. Freaking love it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, again, a preference thing, and I'll explain when I get to number 1. The only thing that I felt like this palette could have used is a deeper, like maybe a deeper green. This is a very burgundy shade. It looks brown on camera, and it looks brown to me right now, but it definitely comes out more this color once it's blended out, and I wish I could have gotten like a deeper green, and like that's like my only pet peeve with this palette. The rest of this palette is absolutely gorgeous, blends phenomenally. Just like I said, the other P. Louise palette that I talked about a second ago blends phenomenally. The shimmers are great, beautiful. I love everything about the packaging. Super extra. I love it, love it, love it. All right, guys, it's time for number 1. Now, my friends know this, like everybody who knows me knows this. I love green. Green is one of my favorite colors, like, period, end story. So can you guess why the Beauty Bay Earthy palette is number 1 for me? Let's open her up. Now, this is what I was talking about as far as depth. This is a gorgeous, sorry, there's the sun is like killing me right now. There's so much depth here. It's so beautiful. Yes, there is some redundant shades, but I could get a neutral look. The shimmers are phenomenal. I really, really love this palette. Like, I don't think I could have ranked it I couldn't rank it lower just because that's how much I love this palette. So, like, I think Beauty Bay did an excellent job curating this palette. I don't really care for the packaging that much, but it is what it is. I really like what they had to offer inside this palette. The shimmers are phenomenal, like I had said. I love everything. Like, there's just so much variety in here. I'm looking at it and I'm just, all the all the looks that I could create from, like, just out of this palette, like, I'm thinking about it in my head. I'm just looking and pairing, looking and pairing, looking and pairing, just trying to come up. Like, I could do a quick crease with this one. This would be amazing in the center, or the, like, in the middle of my eye. Like, I probably won't use these 2 right here just because I'm not super big in I'm not super into very red looks anymore, like I was back when I was first starting my first starting to learn makeup. But it's still an option. I love this palette. Again guys, there's nothing wrong with any of these palettes. I really enjoy all of them. I just figured, let me talk about the palettes that I have bought and used in the last couple months and let you know how I feel about them and how they are working out for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one, guys. Love you. Bye.